scariest stories are whispered, not told.
If you grow up in a place like ours, you hear things. The kind of things people whisper in the back of pickup trucks on summer nights. The kind of things grandmothers warn you about with that cloudy look in their eyes, like they've seen too much to laugh about anymore. Don't whistle after dark, they say. Don't answer if you hear your name when no one's around. Don't go into the woods if the air feels wrong. I heard all those things. Sam heard them too. We just didn't listen. That summer we thought we knew everything. We thought we were smarter, tougher, braver than all those old stories. It was July, the kind of July where the heat presses down on you like a heavy hand and the cicadas scream loud enough to split the sky. The kind of summer where the air smells like hot dust and pine sap, and the dirt cracks under your feet when you walk. Sam was 2 years younger than me, but you wouldn't have known it. He was fearless, stubborn, always daring me to keep up. We'd been sitting on the porch one morning, sweating through our t-shirts, too bored to even bicker, when he finally broke the silence. "You ever wonder what's really up there?" he asked, flicking his chin toward the ridge. I didn't even have to look. Everyone in town knew what was up there. The old cabin. Some said a hermit had lived there decades ago and died alone, cursing the land before he went. Some said witches used it now, gathering under the moon. Some said it burned down years ago, but you could still smell the ashes if you got close enough. But no one we knew had actually seen it. So naturally, we had to. "You scared?" Sam goaded, that stupid grin on his face. I scoffed. Of what? Some old shack? That was all it took. We packed a couple of sandwiches, filled Dad's dented canteen, and grabbed his hunting knife. "Just in case," Sam said with a wink. Mom called after us as we left. "Don't whistle out there, boys." We laughed and waved and didn't look back. At first, the hike was just hot. The air was thick, the sun was blinding, and the trail wound endlessly uphill. But the deeper we went, the quieter it got. No bird calls, no squirrels darting through the branches, not even the cicadas, which had been so loud at the house you couldn't think straight. It was the kind of silence that presses against your ears. We didn't talk much, just kept walking. About half a mile past the ridge, I noticed the smell. Faint, but sharp and metallic, like old blood and damp earth. Sam wrinkled his nose. "Probably just something dead," he muttered, but even he sounded unsure. That's when we saw it, the dog. It was standing in the middle of the trail ahead, massive and black, its fur thick and matted, its eyes burning faintly yellow. Sam froze. "Hey, buddy," he called softly. It didn't react. Then, and I swear to this day it happened, it smiled. The skin of its lips peeled back, slow and deliberate, revealing 2 white teeth. It was a smile that didn't belong on any animal, and then it let out a low, rasping laugh. Something cold and heavy dropped into my stomach. "Run," I hissed. We did. We didn't stop until we saw the house, slamming the door shut behind us, gasping and dripping sweat. Mom looked up from a crossword, frowning. "What's the matter with you boys?" she asked. And Sam just smiled at her. And that smile, it was just like the dog's. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those yellow eyes staring back at me. And just after 2 a.m., I heard it, a soft scratching at my window, slow, deliberate. I got up, my heart already hammering, and crept to the window, and there it was, the dog, sitting in the yard, its head tilted slightly, watching me. When it saw me, its mouth curled into that same awful grin. I yanked the blinds shut and slid back into bed, knife clutched tight in my hand. The next morning, Sam was different. He didn't fight me for the last pancake. He didn't crack jokes. When Mom kissed his forehead before heading to work, he flinched like her touch burned him. And when he looked at me, that smile, wide and wrong. Over the next few days, it only got worse. I'd wake up to find him standing in the doorway to my room, just watching me. At dinner, he'd sit there staring at Mom and Dad with those yellow eyes glinting faintly in the light. When he spoke, his voice was strange, flat and broken, like someone trying to remember how words worked. I tried to tell Dad, but he just shook his head. "Don't tease your brother," he said, but I knew. That wasn't Sam. I started sleeping with a knife under my pillow. I sprinkled salt around my bed, just like my friend's grandma taught me. I even burned sage. Nothing worked. One night, I woke to find him crouched at the foot of my bed. His eyes glowed faintly yellow in the dark, his mouth stretched in that impossible grin. "Why are you doing this?" I whispered. His head tilted, just like the dog's had. And then he said, in that strange, broken voice, "He let me in." I screamed. Mom and Dad came running. When they flipped on the light, it was just Sam sitting on the floor, blinking up at them like nothing happened. "What's wrong with you?" Mom scolded. But Sam just looked at me and smiled. We never spoke of it again. But every night I heard him whispering to himself, words I couldn't understand. Every morning he'd be waiting at the kitchen table, grinning at me. A month later, I couldn't take it anymore. I packed my bags and moved in with my uncle on the other side of town. I left everything behind. Years passed, but sometimes my parents call. They tell me Sam's outside my old bedroom, standing in the yard and smiling. Sometimes late at night, I hear it too, that low, rasping laugh, just outside my window, waiting. When Slender, the 8 Pages came out, it was just a game. Or at least, that's what we thought. It was the summer I turned 16. That summer felt endless, like all summers do at that age. Hot asphalt, warm nights, and too much time with nothing to do but get into trouble. My friends and I thought we were invincible back then. There were 5 of us that night. Me, Chris, Anna, Jake, and Riley. We'd been best friends since middle school, bonded over scary movies, internet creepypastas, and long summer nights sitting in someone's basement, daring each other to say Bloody Mary in the mirror. We thought we'd seen it all, but nothing really scared us anymore. Not until that night. We were at Chris's house, playing the game on his beat-up desktop, Slender, the 8 Pages. The room was dark except for the blue glow of the screen. The air smelled faintly of popcorn and Mountain Dew. I remember the way Chris leaned forward in his chair, muttering, "Turn here. Yeah, past the tree. Grab that page. Don't look back. Don't look back." We all jumped when the static hissed and Slender appeared, looming out of the darkness. Anna yelped and threw her hands over her face, and we all dissolved into laughter. "That's it," Chris scoffed. "That's the big scary? Please." That's when he said it. "Let's play for real." We all looked at him. "What do you mean, for real?" I asked. He grinned. "There's an old park on the edge of town, full of trails, picnic tables, even some old shacks. We set up 8 Pages. Then we play the game." I rolled my eyes. That's stupid. But something about his grin, something about the way Anna bit her lip and smiled. I didn't say no. None of us did. We met at the trailhead just after midnight. It was a warm night, but the air in those woods was different, cooler somehow, and still. Chris handed out the pages, each one scribbled with creepy little stick figures and nonsense phrases. "Can't run. Help me. Leave now. Everybody hide one," he said. "Then meet back here." We scattered into the dark, flashlights swinging wildly. I tucked my page under a loose board in a picnic table and hurried back to the trailhead. We were all grinning, breathing hard, full of nervous excitement. "Ready?" Chris asked. We nodded. He clicked his stopwatch, and the game began. At first, it was just dumb fun. We laughed when Anna tripped over a root. We screamed when Jake jumped out from behind a tree, shouting, "Boo!" The forest was dark, but not scary. Just quiet. I found 2 pages quickly, but then things started to change. It started with the static. At first I thought it was my flashlight. The beam flickered and hissed faintly, like it was full of snow. But then my walkie-talkie crackled to life, a faint, high-pitched hum. Then Anna's voice, breathless. "Something's following me." Her words dissolved into static. I stopped in my tracks, shining my light into the trees. Something moved, tall, thin, too thin. Just for a moment I thought I saw it, standing between 2 pines, watching me. I called out, "Chris, Jake, Anna." No answer, just more static on the walkie. I started to walk faster. My shoes crunched on gravel. My breath came in ragged bursts. Every time I glanced over my shoulder, I swore he was closer, a tall silhouette at the edge of my vision, fading when I tried to look straight at it. Then I heard Anna scream. It was faint at first, then louder, high and sharp, echoing through the trees, then silence. The walkie hissed in my hand. Then Jake's voice, "Don't look at him," and then static. I started to run. The pages crumpled in my pocket. My light flickered and went out. Somewhere behind me the static grew louder and closer. I stumbled over something, a flashlight lying on the ground. Jake's. I picked it up, still warm. But he was gone. I turned in a slow circle, trying to get my bearings. That's when I saw it. Standing between the trees, closer than before, tall, faceless, watching me. I ran. I didn't care where, just away. Branches clawed at my arms and face. My lungs burned. But the static never stopped. And every time I looked back, he was there. Closer. Always closer. I don't remember how I got home. The next thing I knew, it was dawn, and I was sitting on my front porch, covered in scratches, staring at the woods. My parents said they found me there, catatonic, mumbling something they couldn't understand. The police called it a prank gone wrong. Said my friends probably just got lost. But they never found them. Not Chris, not Anna, not Jake, not Riley. Sometimes at night, I still hear the static. It comes out of nowhere, a faint hiss that makes the hair on my arms stand up. And when I look out my window, I see him, standing at the edge of the yard, tall, still, waiting. And every time I close my eyes, I hear Chris's voice, faint and broken. "We shouldn't have played the game.